so glad Chariot's coming, and I don't want to be left out.
There's a long white robe in heaven, I know.
Long white robe in heaven, I know. Long white robe in heaven, I know. I said good news, Chariot's coming, good news, Chariot's coming, so glad Chariot's coming, and I don't want to be left out. In that great, getting up morning fairly well, 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 fairly well.
Of Doug Lackus.
We were going to head towards Hatteras and try to go out to Okokoke, but they've told us that it's closed down that way and the ferry's not running, so we're going to try to go later in the week if we can.
Visitors have been evacuated from the two islands. Maria will cause storm surge, rough surf, high winds, and beach erosion along much of the North Carolina coast.
Republican North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis has unveiled his alternative to deal with the some 800,000 children brought to the U.S. by parents illegally. He is offering what he called merit-based legislation.
If you work hard, if you follow the law, and you pay your taxes, you can stay here permanently. It ensures fairness. There's no skipping in line.
1 week after Charlotte's mayor put prayer on the shelf at city council meetings, it's back on the agenda again. An invocation was held at Monday night's meeting after there was more clarity on what the council can and cannot do after a week of backlash and confusion over prayer in meetings. Mayor Jennifer Roberts spoke during the meeting last night and said,
"We note and celebrate the diversity of our community, including our religious diversity and including those who do not follow religion."
A North Carolina pharmacy manager who the U.S. Department of Justice says unlawfully resold prescription drugs at a profit has pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering. 37-year-old Karen Ann Turner of Burnsville entered her plea Monday. Officials say 2 different pieces of World War II-era ordnance has washed up on North Carolina's Outer Banks. The National Park Service says possible unexploded ordnance was found on a beach on Monday. You're listening to NCN News.
This is Brian Geisinger from the ACC Sports Journal. Here's a look at what we have at ACCSports.com today. North Carolina fell to 1-3 on the season with a loss to Duke on Saturday in Chapel Hill, and maybe without veteran wide receiver Austin Proehl for the rest of the season. In his absence, North Carolina quarterbacks will have to rely more on sophomore receiver and kick returner Anthony Ratliff-Williams. For a breakdown of Ratliff-Williams' exciting start to his sophomore season, make sure to check out the ACC Analytics page, where we also have an offensive breakdown of Clemson's newest home run hitter, running back Travis Etienne. If you missed a recent episode of The David Glenn Show, you can catch up with all of DG's interviews from the best from around the ACC with the David Glenn tab at ACC Sports. For the latest news on the Tar Heels, Blue Devils, Wolfpack, Demon Eagles, and the rest of the ACC, make sure to check out ACCSports.com. This has been the ACC Sports Report. I'm Brian Geisinger.
AP Washington correspondent Sagar Bagani reports there's now enough opposition to sink the GOP's health care bill.
With Democrats unanimously against it, it would only take 3 Republicans to defeat the bill, and at least that many are now opposing it. Maine's Susan Collins was the latest to announce she is out, joining John McCain and Rand Paul. The White House and GOP leaders have been tweaking the bill to gain more support, but have not changed any minds.
An enrollment proposal by Wake County Schools has angered some parents in Garner. The proposal has calendar changes and redistricting of many schools on the table. Beth Setzer has 2 children at Rand Road Elementary School that would be affected by the changes. She's organized a meeting for Thursday at Turner Memorial Baptist Church that's open to anyone. She tells ABC 11 the Wake County School Board should listen.
If they truly mean what they say when they say that they listen to the parents, now is the time.
Defense Secretary Jim Mattis says the U.S. is leading the diplomatically led effort in the United Nations to deter North Korea's nuclear ambitions. He spoke today in New Delhi.
You have seen unanimous United Nations Security Council resolutions passed that have increased the pressure, economic pressure and diplomatic pressure on the North. At the same time, We maintain the capability to deter North Korea's most dangerous threat.
Police have ramped up patrols following 3 hate crimes targeting one Jewish family in North Carolina. The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department has increased foot and bike patrols, alerted federal law enforcement, conducted zone checks around synagogues in the city, and is organizing a community meeting as a result of the crimes, which took place during the ongoing High Holy Days. Mike Rayleigh, NCN.
24/7 WCAB is serving the foothills of the Carolinas. Learn more about us at www.wcab59.com. News. I'm Sherry Preston. What's the future of health care now that there is another solid no vote against the Graham-Cassidy bill? Here's ABC's Brad Milkey.
High drama for a bill that was already on the brink.
Kill that bill!
More than 180 protesters arrested at the one and only hearing for a bill that was rejiggered to get votes from specific senators. But one of them, Susan Collins from Maine, told ABC News it wasn't enough.
I can't support this bill.
She said Medicaid funding would shrivel up and pre-existing conditions would be penalized. Rand Paul still wants more drastic cuts, and John McCain says he won't vote for a bill that was rushed through without debate. And now the Congressional Budget Office estimates millions would lose coverage, meaning this bill is likely dead before it even reaches the floor. Brad Milkey, ABC News.
95% of Puerto Rico still without power.
The people of Puerto Rico are resilient. However, we're gonna need help.
Governor Ricardo Rossello says it's difficult to find clean water. Thousands at the airport in San Juan trying to get out. President Trump tweeting last night that food, water, and medicine are all top priorities and doing well. The president tweeting this morning about the NFL and its ratings following last night's show of unity on the field by the Dallas Cowboys. ABC's Alex Stone was at the game.
The sound of booing on the field, the Dallas Cowboys kneeling as a team. Among them owner Jerry Jones, who has previously made it clear he disagrees with players who kneel during the national anthem. But this was before the anthem. For the anthem itself, players stood linking arms.
President Trump says on Twitter, the booing was the loudest I have ever heard. Great anger. Next tweet, though, they all stood up for our national anthem. Big progress being made. We love our country. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders asked about private email use by many top White House officials, including advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner.
To my knowledge, very limited. White House counsel has instructed all White House staff to use their government email for official business and only use that email.
Now, White House official not disputing a New York Times story that says at least 6 administration officials use private emails. You're listening to ABC News.
Maybe it's a pair of shoes. Maybe it's a certain bike. Maybe it's a certain mattress. Whether you're running, biking, or even sleeping, the equipment you use matters. Beautyrest provides equipment for high-performance sleep to help you perform better than ever. For a limited time, get great deals on select Beautyrest mattresses during the Beautyrest High-Performance Sleep Sale. Find a retailer at beautyrestretailers.com. Get your Beautyrest at Tyson Furniture Company, Inc. in Black Mountain.
A good night's sleep starts with the right pillow. That's where MyPillow comes in, and now for a limited time, just go to MyPillow.com, click the Radio Listener Special tab, and use promo code SKY to get 2 premium king or queen pillows and 2 additional Go Anywhere travel pillows, all for 50% off and free shipping. That's MyPillow.com, promo code SKY, or call 1-800-635-1825. 1-800-635-1825.
Southern California firefighters are struggling with a large brush fire threatening about 300 homes in Anaheim and Corona, California. This man lives there.
It was heading towards Orange County, and then it did a 180 and headed back extremely fast. And then once it got into our Box Canyon, it was almost like the wind just started swirling around, and embers were flying everywhere.
The fire started on Monday afternoon and quickly grew to 2,000 acres, then 20,000. It's just 5% contained. Fire officials say that the flames are being fed by heat, dry conditions, and shifting winds. We're learning a little more about Target's decision to raise its minimum hourly pay.
Target had a lot of unhappy, quote-unquote, team members who jumped from the Target team to work at the best-paying retailers, most notably Kroger, Albertsons, Safeway, Costco, BJ's, and Winco.
That is Bert Flickinger with Strategic Resource Group, a retail consulting firm here in New York. Target is raising hourly pay to $11 next month, it says, and to $15 an hour by 2020. $11 an hour, 40 hours a week, works out to just under $23,000 a year annually. Voice actors for video games have ended their nearly year-long strike against major game makers. The Actors Union SAG-AFTRA and a rep for the companies announced a tentative agreement that was reached over the weekend. Activision, Electronic Arts, WB Games among the companies whose actors walked out over pay and other complaints. The companies make popular games like Call of Duty and Batman. This is ABC News.
Your morning's first news.
Good morning, America. We want to get right to that breaking news.
Never just the headlines, always digging deeper, reporting the facts you deserve. The exclusive news-breaking interviews, what everyone's talking about. Robin, George, Michael.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Serving up what you need and what you want. First thing every morning.
Good morning, America.
That's why GMA is America's #1 morning show.
We'll see you in the morning on GMA.
And we thank you.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
You know, Oakland Feed and Seed can prepare you for whatever season comes along. Deer plot mix, corn on the cob, whole corn just $6.99, deer apples, corn and peanut mix, plenty of ammunition in all gauges and millimeters. Meanwhile, keep in mind Oakland Feed and Seed is a propane refill station, new and used tanks for sale. Get what you need in fast-acting lime at 10-10-10 premium fertilizer, only $8.99. 17-17-17 premium, $13.99 for the 50-pound bag. And don't forget Man's Best Friend, 50-pound bag, $14.99, and dog kennels, 10x10x6, only $189.99. Hey, if Oakland Feed and Seed don't have it, give them a chance to get it for you. Shopping at hometown Oakland Feed and Seed on Oakland Road, Spindale is a family tradition.
We've still got weak high pressure in control. Well, on the west side of Maria, we'll have a mix of clouds and some sun with that today, with a north to northeasterly breeze and continued warm temperatures. Highs will reach about 82 to 87. Tonight will turn mostly clear. There may be a few pockets of low cloudiness around. We'll have lows in the mid to upper 60s. Then on Wednesday, we'll have partly to mostly sunny skies. It'll be a little breezy and we'll turn a little hotter. Highs tomorrow 85 to 90. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Now that little hotter is going to turn a whole lot cooler, about 15 degrees cooler by this time next week. Now for tomorrow, of course, highs around 90 degrees. For Thursday, highs around 88 to 90 degrees. Friday, highs around 80. Then Saturday, highs around 75. For Sunday, highs around 70. And then Monday, highs again around 70 degrees. Now, take a look at that overnight low. Overnight lows are going to be dropping on Saturday is when we get our best lower temperature. It's going to be around 55 degrees. 7 minutes past 7 o'clock. 65 degrees right now at AM 59 under clear skies. It's time now for our morning obituaries. Susan Annette Powell Byers, 53, passed away unexpectedly in Morganton on Saturday. She was born in Rutherford County, the daughter of Rebecca Cantrell Elliott. Survived by her daughter, Cameron Deanna Liggins, and husband Doyle Brown of Spindale, brother Billy Huntley, and wife Judy of Hickory, and 3 grandchildren. Services will be announced by the family. Funeral arrangements are being entrusted to Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside. Those are the arrangements for Susan Annette Powell Byers. Randy Owens, 58, of Venus Drive, Spindale, died Monday. He's survived by his daughter Tanya Henderson, his son Caleb Owens, and his mother Annette Sheehan, brothers Mike Owens, Gene Owens, and his sister Pat Dalton. Arrangements are incomplete and will be announced later by Crow's Mortuary. Crow's Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements for Randy Owens. Henry Dale Beeson, formerly of Forest City, died Wednesday in Nicaragua, where he served as a missionary for Priority Evangelism. The son of Herline Beeson and Thelma Tony Beeson. A memorial service will be held at 6:30 at the Grace Chapel in Forest City. That will be at 6:30 this evening. In lieu of donations, in lieu of flowers, all donations may be made to Priority Evangelism. Those are the arrangements for Henry Dale Beeson. James Couch, 83, of Charlotte, died Thursday at the Hunter Woods Nursing and Rehab Center in Charlotte. The family will conduct a private celebration to honor his life and memory. Harrelson Funeral Home has been entrusted with the arrangements for Mr. James F. Couch. Doris Jean Hoyle, 81, of Bostic, died Sunday at White Oak Manor in Rutherfordton, a member of the First Broad Baptist Church, where she was active in the choir. She was also the custodian for the church. Funeral services will be held at 3 o'clock on Wednesday at the First Broad Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Visitation will be from 2 until 3 on Wednesday at the church prior to the service. Memorials may be made to the First Broad Baptist Church at 2470 North Carolina Highway 226, Bostic, North Carolina, or to Hospice of Rutherford County at Post Office Box 336, Forest City, North Carolina 28043. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services is in charge of the arrangements for Doris Jean Hoyle. You can hear these obituaries and others that come in throughout the day this morning at 11:35 and again this evening just after 5 o'clock.
A surprise report from the New York Times. Some in Silicon Valley think the tech world's push for gender equality has gone too far. The New York Times says that Silicon Valley has long been identified as one of the most hostile work environments for women, even though the place is dominated by liberals. Now go figure that. So human resources departments are trying to equalize everything, and the result is that Silicon Valley is a hostile work environment for men. And there's a backlash. When Google fired that 28-year-old millennial engineer for posting his frustrations about non-stop diversity training, it sparked a new subculture. A movement focusing on men's rights is quickly emerging. The Times interviewed one guy who says the diversity requirements created a witch hunt atmosphere. He was interviewed from a soundproof booth out of fear he might be overheard. He said the reaction to anyone who voices incorrect opinions on gender is almost religious, it's almost zealotry. Now, until recently, men opposed to Silicon Valley's diversity obsession were considered fringe. Now, even investors are beginning to pay attention to their complaints. Recent studies show the line for what is considered sexual harassment is too easy to cross, and the tech world's goal of gender parity might be too extreme. I have a solution. Hire the best qualified, regardless of gender. Simple. But as I said, the place is run by liberals, and to libs' merit is divisive. Not cool. Equifax recently announced a security breach that could affect 143 million Americans. You need to take steps to get protection. Be among the millions who trust their identity protection to LifeLock. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect if your personal information is being used by online identity thieves. And if there's a problem, one of LifeLock's identity restoration agents will work to fix it. They know the steps to take and the calls to make to resolve problems as quickly as possible. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor transactions in all businesses, but rest assured that LifeLock has been helping people come out on the bright side of the identity theft problem for over a decade. Plans start just $9.99 plus applicable taxes. Get 10% off by using the promo code RUSH 800-440-4833 or go to lifelock.com and use the promo code RUSH.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697.
Although Enoch Davis was great at fathering children, he had 9, he wasn't a great provider. Enoch and his family lived in a one-room cabin. Maybe because of finances or the closeness of their living quarters, Enoch and his wife seemed to be always fighting. It seemed that the climax of every argument was Enoch's wife threatening to leave and Enoch threatening to kill her if she did. Then they would reconcile. Finally, one day, Enoch's wife presented him with a letter that she was sending to her sister saying that she and the children were coming to live with her. Evidently, he knew she was serious because that night he killed and buried her, telling everyone she had run away. Enoch finally told the authorities where she was buried and how she died. He was tried, convicted, and sentenced to be shot before a firing squad. Enoch appealed the sentence all the way to the Supreme Court to no avail. Finally, on September 14, 1894, the sentence was carried out. According to one report, he couldn't utter 5 words during that last hour on earth that were not coupled with obscenity, blasphemy, vulgarity, and profanity. He fought the guards as they strapped him to the chair. A sheet of paper with a black circle on it was placed over his heart, and his life ended with 4 rifle balls in it. The Salt Lake Tribune said, "He died like a dog. In fact, the most despicable, mangy canine whelp that ever met such a fate could not have whined itself out of existence in a more deplorable way." You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
We're at 15 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock and 65 degrees right now under clear skies. It's time to start the call-around portion of our morning report, and we always start with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. And, we've got the sheriff this morning. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Lou. How are you doing this morning?
Getting into the routine of getting up at 4 o'clock.
Well, I think you got it. You can do it.
I got it. What you got to report this morning?
Lou, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 195 calls for service. There have been 18 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 189. Among those arrests, Christy Carmen Bradley, a 42-year-old white female in Mooresboro, was charged with 5 counts of failure to appear, received a $4,000 secured bond. Terry Anderson Bourne, a 52-year-old white female in Morganton, was charged with possessing Schedule 2 and received a $4,000 secured bond. Brett Lawrence Anderson, a 47-year-old white male in Morganton, was charged with possessing Schedule 2, driving while license revoked, and had a warrant out of Iredell County for hit and run, and received a $6,000 secured bond. Joyce Sutton Wood, a 52-year-old white female of Kings Mountain, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear, and received a $6,000 secured bond. Richard Sherman LaForge II, 46-year-old white male of Ruston, was charged with 1 count of failure to appear, and received a $500 secured bond. Shay Harley Bennett, 24-year-old white male of Shelby, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 secured bond. Alan Richard Farrell, 33-year-old white male of Shelby, was charged with possession of meth and marijuana, received a $45,000 secured bond, and also was surrendered, receiving a previous bond for previous charges. Had a Zachary Robinette, 26-year-old white male of Forest City, which was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear, received a $25,000 secured bond. Ricky Jean Henson, 62-year-old white male of Forest City, was charged with domestic violence protective order with a violent weapon, and we will see a district court judge for bond today. Chad Timothy Piercy, 37-year-old white male of Forest City, was charged with probation violation, received a $5,000 secured bond. In the instance, we had a break-and enter in Larsdale on Hawkins Loop Road. There was some assorted wrenches taken, also a 2004 Honda Rancher, four-wheeler, valued at $2,500. Porter Cable Mushroom Air Compressor, valued at $280, was also taken in that incident. We had obtained property of false pretense on Hogpen Branch Road. Someone used the victim's debit card without proper authorization. We had a break-and enter in Larceny, Bedford Creek Road in Ellenboro, where U.S. currency was taken. We had a break-and enter in Larceny of a vehicle on old US 221A, a 2000 gold 4-door Toyota Corolla with a tag of PEB 8303, valued at $1,000. A MIG welder without a motor, valued at $600. And a Cub weed trimmer was taken in that instant as well. Also, a set of 4 tires, valued at $100. In a separate instance, we had a larceny of a motor vehicle off Booger Hollow Road in Ellenboro. It was a 1993 blue Dodge truck with gold trim, valued at $6,500. No tag was displayed on that vehicle. We had a break-in, enter, and larceny on Walls Church Road in Ellenboro, where 3 steel chainsaws valued at $675 were taken. A gas generator valued at $795 was taken. 2 steel weed eaters valued at $400 were taken. And 8 rods and reels were taken, as well as a $300 wood splitter in that instant. We had also a larceny of a motor vehicle in US 64 in Royston. It was a silver 2006 Hyundai Sonata with a Florida tag. Same was located in Forest City after a brief chase with a Forest City police officer, and the Rutherford County K-9 located suspect in that case on a back porch. Same is still under investigation whether it was unauthorized use or larceny of a motor vehicle. And we had a misdemeanor larceny on Hunter Carver Lane in Forest City. A North Carolina tag was taken, same as EKW 7141 or Edward King Williams 7141, valued at $28. And that's what we had to report today.
Sheriff, I saw about the roundtable about the opioid epidemic in Rutherford County, and I really didn't get a chance to read a lot about it. Do you plan to have another one anytime soon?
No, that was particularly a roundtable with the Attorney General who came in. I believe the county is having another discussion, but it will be a kind of a different venue and a different setup. That's going to be in October, and I don't have that date in front of me, but this was specific for the Attorney General, Josh Steiner, who came and basically discussed what is going on with our medication-assisted treatment program in the jail. And then a lot of good ideas were spread by a lot of community partners who work in fire and EMS, DSS. There was just a lot of good comments made, and how this epidemic is affecting a lot of different people.
I would, yes, I would, if you would, please. I would like to know the date of when that next one's coming up. I do have a lot of views on that, especially since it has affected my family, too. I'm not ashamed to admit it. The opioid problem has affected my family with my brother, and I would like to share some of the views and issues that has happened with my family.
Sure. Again, it's kind of a different take. The next one that I'm aware of is a little bit different, but it is in October. And I'll try to look that up for you and get that information.
All right, Sheriff. You have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks. Bye-bye. And we'll check in with 911 right after this.
The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304.
make that 22 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. We're being kind today to Wayne Harden. Wayne's 86, lives in the Sandy Mush area. If you know Wayne, wish him a very, very happy birthday. And from the Sheriff's Department, we check in with Marie at 911. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. What you got to report this morning?
Okay, in the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communication Centers processed 524 911 and administrative calls, which consisted of 38 for EMS, 21 for rescue. For law enforcement, the Sheriff's Department had 195. Forest City had 80. Lake Lure had 10. Rutherford had 22. Spindale had 56. For fire calls, Bills Creek responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Spindale responded to a motor vehicle accident. And that's all I have for the morning.
All right, Marie. I hope y'all have a nice slow day today, and have a good day.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company. Jackson, Mississippi. An independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
23 minutes past 7 o'clock, and we move on to the SDO area and check in with Ruby Taylor. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing okay.
Good. What you got to report this morning?
Well, the fire department had one call, and that was to a vehicle accident. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Pam Ezel, Betty Huntley, Harvey Whitaker, Zake Wilkerson, and Anita Haynes having birthdays. Hope all these people have a nice day, and the signs are in the thighs today and going to the knees tomorrow. And that's all I got, Lou.
All righty, Ruby. Be careful, and we'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
It's a for sure thing. Sisk Family Ford in Forest City is earning a quality reputation for offering an attractive inventory of new and used cars and trucks. If you want a new Ford truck, you'll be a smart shopper to let Sisk Family Ford quote you a deal. From a car for the newlywed to the car for the large family, let the Sisk Family Company help your family get the best deal. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
24 minutes past 7 o'clock. 65 degrees right now. And as we move on to Rumbling Bog, we've got Alan on the phone with us this morning. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Doing real well. It's a nice morning. A bit of haze or fog here and there, but it's showing about 65 degrees, and I think it's going to be a comfortable day, if not warm this afternoon. So we need to enjoy it while we can.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's not a whole lot going on. It's noticeably slower than it has been, and that's just a part of this time of year. But we're all kind of in anticipation of the leaves really changing. It's already noticeable, so people will be back for that. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to Steve's bear stories.
Okay.
So I always look forward to that fall and early spring.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think May and September are I think two of the nicest months of the year, even into October if it doesn't get us too early. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, Alan, I hope you have a great day today, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Well, very good. You have the same.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Dr. Josh Edgerton is the newest addition to Rutherford Surgical Associates. Dr. Edgerton is highly trained in performing laparoscopies, endoscopies, reflux surgeries, vein closure, and other surgeries. Rutherford Surgical Associates is located at 330 Highway 108, just around the corner from Rutherford Regional Medical Center. For more information about Rutherford Surgical Associates and Dr. Edgerton, call 828-286-1743 or visit myrutherfordregional.com/general surgery. A lot of great weather headed our way. Looking for highs today and tomorrow. If we can just manage to tolerate the heat just a little bit longer. Highs around 90 today, 85 tomorrow. Then it starts dropping about 5 degrees a day. 79, 80 for Friday, 75 for Saturday, 70 for Sunday. So we got a beautiful weekend headed our way. It's time to head to Mount Vernon, check in Bob Hodge. Morning, Bob.
Well, good morning, Lou.
How are you, Bob?
Oh, we're doing just fine up here this morning.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Getting ready for another warm day up here.
Yeah. Only got if the weather's still. I hope this is true. But by this time next week, we'll be down about 10 to 12. Well, maybe about 12, 15 degrees cooler.
Yeah, feel more like fall of year, won't it?
Yeah.
That really make them leaves start turning on the trees there. So, but it's getting about that time of the year there. We'll get some fall feelings every morning, and before long it'll be frost on the ground. We'll be having to start a fire, turn the heat on instead of the air conditioning there. So, won't be many more days there.
Yeah.
But how's your mama doing?
She's doing good. She's doing good, and Rocky's doing good after having his appendix taken out.
Oh my, that.
I thought we told you. It was about 2 Mondays ago. He got up and said my side's hurting, and within just a few hours he was in the operating room.
Well, I'm done. But well, I'm glad he's getting better there then, and doing good. So, but things like that happens sometimes, yeah. I think I have to have my other cataract took off the other eye about, let's see, October the 15th, I think. So I have to have that done.
Oh, man.
And maybe I can see a lot better then. Have both eyes fixed there.
Yeah.
Well, I can see you better every morning.
Oh, yeah. That's the main thing.
Yeah. But Lou, up there with the fire department, no fire calls during the night, so that's good. And maybe it'll stay that way today and everything. And I hope you have a nice day, Lou, and you take care. And I'll be talking to you later.
All righty, Bob. You and Imogene have a good one and be careful today.
Okay, you too.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC.
We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
You know, having a hearing problem or admitting that you're having hearing issues, that's not an easy thing to do. And when you keep having to say, huh, what'd you say, what, or if you're noticing someone that you love continually saying, turn the TV up, I can't hear it, whatever. Well, it's time to head to Miracle Ear. Lisa Terry is a licensed hearing specialist, and she loves her patients, and her patients just absolutely adore her. Schedule your free hearing test today. Now, it may not be a hearing problem. It could be just something just as simple as just backed up wax in your ear. But anyway, get your hearing checked. For over 65 years, millions of satisfied customers have trusted Miracle Ear. There's no better respected or well-known brand of hearing aids than Miracle Ear. They provide complete customer care packages, including 30-day satisfaction guarantee, their lifetime care promise, a 3-year limited warranty on all hearing solutions. Most insurance plans are accepted. Financing is available. So call if you'd rather go to the Forest City office. That number is 828-368-4126, or the Shelby office, 704-750-0215. Time to head to Cherry Mountain area and check in with Sue Price this morning. Morning, Sue.
Good morning, Lou.
What's happening on your end of the world?
Well, I think it's really quiet over this way. That's a good thing.
You're always about 2 degrees cooler than I am. What you got?
Well, I had 65 when I got up.
Oh, I got 64 now.
It probably went down a degree or two.
Yeah.
I didn't go back and check. Usually it goes back down a degree or so. But anyway, it's nice out there. Just a pretty morning. I don't have any calls from the fire department. Don't have any birthdays on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I got an anniversary for Kent and Carol Dorsey, so I hope they'll have a good day.
Oh.
I guess Kent's going to be working. He can't take her out tonight, but he'll make it up to her.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He is. And nothing on Fairviews for today. First Broad has a birthday for Jarrett Smith, so I hope Jarrett's going to have a good day. And in my announcements, the community revival is in progress. We've had 2 good nights, and it'll go through the Thursday, the 28th, starting at 7 p.m. each night. So come on out and enjoy a good preaching. He's really good. The 55th annual Gaddis Reunion will be Sunday, October the 1st, starting at 1 p.m. at the Duncans Creek Presbyterian Church in the Fellowship Hall. And they invite everyone to come. Hope all the Gaddises are able to come out this year. They always have a good crowd, and they have a good time together. And also, the next Sunday will be the Campbell Reunion at Duncans Creek, so you Campbells keep that in mind and get ready for that. Call your loved ones and relatives and tell them to come on out for the Campbell Reunion. And so far, I think that's the only announcements I have. Lou, it's just quiet and calm, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Do we know which anniversary this is for Kent and Carol?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But they've
They've been together a while. They're a sweet couple.
Yeah. Everybody, what I like, folks see him walking down the road with his cat on the leash, walking the cat.
Oh, he's the best.
Trying
He is a best.
We're trying to figure out how in the world he got that cat to walk on the leash like a dog. People are just amazed by that. So y'all have a good day, and we'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay, Lee. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hot temperatures on the highway can be brutal on your automobile. RS Speedy Lube is there to help keep your automobile running clean. Keep the oil changed regularly. They'll check the fluids and vacuum the car. Next door, get the service you need on brakes, radiator, exhaust, CV joints, and radiator flush. RS Service Center also includes service on big trucks and campers. For the best car wash, it's the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash. RS Speedy Lube Service Center is a complete service center inside, outside, and down under Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Being kind today to Wayne Harden. Wayne's 86 today, lives in Sandy Mush. If you know Wayne, wish him a very, very happy birthday. It's time to head up to Union Mills area, check in with Brenda Kelly. What you got, Brenda?
Good morning. How are you on this? Let's see, today's a terrific Tuesday, isn't it?
Terrific Tuesday.
There you go. I've got 62 degrees. What did you say you had, 64?
I've gone back up to 65.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just keeps kind of jumping back and forth. 65.1. 65.1 to be exact.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad. That's nice to get out and take a walk early this morning.
Yeah.
But we hope everybody's having a good day today. Birthdays today, I've got Gene Taylor, Terry Paget, Bonnie Gear, Blake Abrams, Noah Lale, Harley Klein, and Chad Klein. I want to wish, let me see. I know I don't have any on around here. So I want to wish all these people a great old big day on their special day and in ways of announcements. On Sunday, October the 1st, homecoming at Union Mills Presbyterian Church, 11 a.m. worship service. Following the worship service, they will have a meal, bring a well-filled picnic basket. And then inside the yard sale, 7 to 12, September the 30th. This will be at it's a yard and bake sale. Union Mills Community Development Club on Hudlow Road. And you can rent a table for $5 each. You can set up on Friday evening from 5 to 6. And you can be inside with air conditioning. For information, call 287-5842 or 287-3502. And other than that, I don't have nothing. So it's just short, sweet, and quiet up here.
Well, it sounds like it is. Everybody behaving themselves.
That's good. That's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And do want to send my Christian love and sympathy out to somebody that you and I both know, Annette Sheehan, the loss of her son, Randy Owens. I went to school with Randy and his sister, Patsy, so want to let them know how sorry we are for the loss of Randy.
Yeah, that's got to be a terrible thing, but we just hope that the Lord will embrace her and help her through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, but things happen. We don't know why, do we?
No, we don't, but they do. Yeah. They happen.
Yeah, so I was sorry to hear that when I found out who he was. I knew about it earlier, but the name sounded familiar, but I couldn't put nothing with it till later, till I talked to you. So that. And you told me who it was, so yeah, I was sorry, and I do send my Christian love and sympathy out to Annette and the whole family. So, but I don't know of anything else going on, so it's just short, sweet, and quiet.
All righty, Brenda. Well, you take care, and we'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay, have a good one. Catch you later.
All right, see you later. Well, at Southern Carpet, they know how real life can be.
They know that kids make a mess, dogs track in mud, so that's why they carry floors that stand up to the day-to-day living like Tarkett Flooring. They've got the widest range of flooring products that are both beautiful and resilient, and right now you can find out more about these fabulous flooring products at Southern Carpet in Forest City. Find some excellent pricing right now too. You're going to find the perfect floor to fit your home and your budget, so hurry in and take advantage of these great deals and choose from the excellent selection of Tarkett Flooring only at Southern Carpet at 1512 West Main Street in Forest City. Visit them on the web at southerncarpet.net and check them out on Facebook. That's Southern Carpet in Forest City. And before we lose the signal, let's see if we can get a report out of Herman Jones for the transit bus moves. Morning, Herman.
Good morning, Miss Lou. You doing all right?
Doing good. You?
Man, if I was any better, couldn't stand it.
Well, I was hoping we'd catch you before you got in one of them curves or dips and we lost the signal.
We're going along here pretty good.
Oh, okay.
But as far as news is concerned, I didn't have but 2 birthdays, and I wrote them down. Jack Brown will come off and left them laying on the end table, so that didn't do me no good, did it?
No, but it's still good to hear from you anyway.
Yeah, well, everything's quiet down on this end of the county. Well, coyotes wasn't. They was raising a racket last night, and something happened over towards the line. There's about 4 or 5 sirens went that way. I don't know where it's cops or ambulances or what.
Goodness.
Maybe you might find out.
Yeah.
Somebody might call you and give you more in on it than I got. I never could find nothing. Called down to the fire department, never could get no answer, so I figured they was either still out or wasn't nobody down there.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I can find out something later.
Oh, I hope so. Hope we find out what it was.
Hope it wasn't nothing serious, though.
Yeah, me too.
All righty, Herman. Well, you be careful today, and we'll talk to you later.
All righty, I'm going to try my best. If I can keep this thing between the side ditches, we'll be all right.
Oh, yeah, keep it between the lines.
All righty, we'll see you later.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing.
And we're waiting to get Luther on the phone with us this morning. Here we go. And check ahead to Ellenborough. And last stop, checking in with Luther Killican. Good morning, Luther.
Good morning. I'm here.
Good. What's going on in your end of the world?
Nothing. Just quiet, peaceful down here. Haven't had anything happen down here. We try and get all the stuff on the fair put up, shipped out, put it away until next year. But the fire department only had one call yesterday. Other than that, they've been quiet, just peaceful this morning. Everybody just going into work this morning, stop getting their coffee and their biscuit and head on down. But we want to wish happy birthday today. See, Roger Randall was having a birthday day, and also Ryan Ripple's having one. And J.C. and Linda Cannon, they're having a wedding anniversary day. And hope they have a great day and enjoy their day. But boy, I'm going to have a good day today. Lou, you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, Luther, let me ask you something. When you talk about stopping getting biscuit, where do you usually stop of a morning getting your biscuit?
I always sit around at the BP station.
Oh, okay. They got a little restaurant in there?
Yeah, they sell biscuits in there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're bush and sausage and ham and all that stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Didn't know that. Now I know.
Yeah. People have time. When we have time, we sit out at Randall's and eat out there. We have biscuit on the way to work.
Get all the good gossip. What's happening going around Ellenborough?
Got what?
Get all the good gossip. What's going on around in Ellenborough?
Hey, we don't have gossip down here. You know that. Never
Okay.
come gossip in Ellenburg.
Okay.
It's all gossip there.
Okay, all righty. Well, we'll talk to you in the morning then. Get all the gossip you can.
All right, you have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Take care.
Well, the phone lines are open 287-3356. Todd's ready to get your birthdays and anniversaries. We've got a dozen donuts from Granny B's we want to give away, a dozen Daylight donuts from Granny B's. Want to give those away this morning. So if you're having a birthday or an anniversary, get that called in at 287-3356. And again, we're being kind today to Wayne Harden. Wayne's 86 today, lives in the Sandy Mush area. And if you know Wayne, wish him a very happy birthday because today he just became the newest member of the WCAB Birthday Hall of Fame. Coming up at 5 before the hour, we've got news from the North Carolina News Network, ABC News at the top of the hour. We'll take a look at that weather forecast. And then we've got our 8 o'clock news hour. And we've got a lot of news coming up during the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up Friday night, Polk County at East Rutherford. Polk County at East Rutherford. It's homecoming at East. Chase will be at Avery County. RS Central's off this week. And Pine Lake Prep is at Thomas Jefferson this Friday night. Now coming up on Saturday morning is the Tar Heels and Georgia Tech. That pregame show starts at 10 o'clock. Kickoff will be at around 12:20. They have a 2-hour, 20-minute pregame show for the football games. Coming up on Saturday night, it's Braves baseball, Braves in Miami, 5:55 airtime for that. Then on Sunday, we've got Carolina Panthers football. It's the Panthers and the New England Patriots. 12 noon airtime for that. We've got a few minutes we'll miss of that pregame show. We've got our Sunday obituaries that we need to bring you, and then of course we'll take a look at our community calendar, and then we'll jump right into that pregame show. The Carolina Panthers, the Panthers, and the Patriots for Sunday. So that's our weekend lineup. And then, well, this is actually just Tuesday. So we've got Braves tonight. Braves and the Mets, 5:55. Phone lines are open, 287-3356. Get your birthdays and anniversaries in. The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherford.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about.
Well, this is September the 26th, 2017, and we are being kind of Wayne Harden today, celebrating a birthday. His 86th birthday, lives in Sandy Mush, so wish Wayne a very, very happy birthday. Also celebrating birthdays today, Jean Taylor, that's Jean Taylor, Jean Taylor, Terry Paget, Bonnie Gear, Clinique Abrams, Noah Lale, celebrating birthdays today. Jolene Brown from Bostic, celebrating a birthday. Sally Blanton from Forest City. Jim Bridges is 63 today, lives in Dobbinsville, USA. Roger Brown from Sandy Mush. And Tony Robbins from Forest City, celebrating birthday today. So congratulations to all these folks. And if we didn't get your birthday, you didn't get your birthday called in, hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday today. Just about 56, 55, 54, 53 seconds or so, we'll give away that dozen Daylight Donuts from Granny B's.
When one of the boys came into the store admiring some vegetables, fruit, or other staple, the owner would barter with them for a nice marble. Of course, the boys never had just the right color, so the owner would send them on their way with the food they needed and a request that when they came back the next time, they would bring the right colored marble. But of course, the color was never the right shade of green or red or blue. This went on for years until the boys left home and moved away. And then the grocer died. At the grocer's funeral, 3 well-dressed young men greeted the widow, kissed her gently on the cheek, and then moved to the casket. They paid their respects, each touching the folded hands of the grocer, and then moved out of the room, wiping tears from their eyes. The widow took a friend to the casket, all the time explaining what a wonderful man her husband had been. At the casket, she lifted her deceased husband's hand and revealed 3 very shiny and colorful marbles. We will be remembered far more by our kind deeds than by the words that we speak. It is what we scatter and not what we gather that will tell the kind of life that we have lived. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living. Why not visit our website at todayskey.net?
And congratulations to Jim Bridges. Jim is 63 today, lives in Dobbinsville, USA. That's what Todd said, the caller said who called in his birthday, said he loves to hear that he's from Dobbinsville, USA. So Jim Bridges, congratulations. Come by, pick up your certificate for your dozen Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Coming up in about right after North Carolina News and ABC News, we'll have the Edward Jones Report with Andrew Tisdale. And right after that, we'll take a look at news. A lot of folks calling, interested about what the story is about the Word of Faith. And we'll have that story coming up right after Andrew Tisdale this morning here on AM 59 WCAB.
News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Weather conditions will go down rapidly along the North Carolina coast today as Hurricane Maria approaches.
Maria has chased thousands of visitors from Ocracoke and Hatteras Islands on the southern end of the North Carolina Outer Banks. And Rodriguez and her family are tempting fate as they stay to ride out the storm.
It's kind of funny coming down here and seeing all of the folks down in Hatteras going north. Kind of interesting. We didn't think it was going to be that bad. But we're not too concerned about it. Should we be?
Perhaps so, since Maria will generate rough surf, high winds, storm surge, and beach erosion on most of the North Carolina coast. Jim Crisula, CBS News, Raleigh.
A no vote from Maine Republican Susan Collins means that the latest GOP health care plan is dead on arrival. CBS's Nancy Cordes says Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell had pushed for a vote this week, but now
there's an argument to be made by some Senate Republicans that they know that some of their moderate members are in a tough spot. This is a very unpopular piece of legislation. Some of these Republicans are up for re-election in 2018. Why force them to go on the record either for or against a bill that's never going to go anywhere?
North Carolina's Republican U.S. senators are firmly behind legislation in the latest attempt to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Senator Tom Tillis says,
we need a solution to the failed Obamacare policy. That what we need to understand is that this is not sustainable.
The Republican nominee for U.S. Attorney for Western North Carolina has a successor for his current district attorney position in mind, a Democrat. Two-term Mecklenburg County District Attorney Andrew Murray says that Spencer Merriweather is the most qualified member of his staff to replace him. The Division of Aviation and the North Carolina Department of Transportation has scheduled a Wilmington area workshop for commercial and government drone and unmanned aerial system operators. You're listening to NCN News.
At Charlotte Motor Speedway, we're more than just the home of NASCAR. We're the home of NASCAR moments. This October 8th, come share a few moments with us. A Saturday night concert with Brad Paisley, free with your Bank of America 500 ticket. Then a race day experience like none other. The Bank of America 500, Sunday, October 8th. Call 800-455-FANS.
Okay, so tell me if this sounds like you at work. You find yourself bored by daily tasks. You can't focus during meetings. Your mind wanders constantly. You feel like you're stuck going through the same motions every day. Don't let that boredom take over your life. Next time you're spending your afternoon scrolling through Facebook, come on over and window shop on ncjobsnow.com. You might just find the new challenge you never knew you were looking for. It's waiting for you now at ncjobsnow.com. Don't let that boredom take over your life.
Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, traveling in India, says the United States wants a diplomatic solution to the escalating nuclear crisis with North Korea, toning down the shrill rhetoric between the two countries.
The effort to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula is one that has been diplomatically led and with an increased emphasis here as the DPRK, as North Korea's provocations have become more pronounced.
At least 6 close advisors to President Donald Trump, including former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus and former Chief Strategist Steve Bannon, occasionally use private email addresses for government businesses. Greg Valere with Horizon Investments doesn't think this will get any reaction.
The story with emails at the White House is going to be obscured by Korea, healthcare, tax reform, Puerto Rico. It may not get a lot of attention, but I think for Robert Mueller, the special counsel, this is something that he has to look at.
A toddler is drowned after getting into a neighbor's swimming pool with some other children in Wilmington. Wilmington Police Department spokeswoman Linda Thompson says that the drowning occurred on Sunday. Thompson says other children with the 2-year-old boy ran for help. Thompson says that the children entered the pool without the owner's permission. Officials say 2 different pieces of World War II-era ordnance have washed up on North Carolina's Outer Banks.
The National Park Service said possible unexploded ordnance was found on a beach on Monday near Cape Hatteras National Seashore's Beach Access Ramp 34 in Avon. An explosive ordnance disposal unit from Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point was dispatched to the scene to remove the device. The Park Service said it's the 3rd time unexploded ordnance was washed ashore this year. I'm Gail Hurd.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
24/7, WCAB is serving the foothills of the Carolinas. Learn more about us at www.wcab59.com.
News. I'm Sherry Preston. Puerto Rico's governor says to avoid a humanitarian crisis, a federal aid package needs to be passed quickly.
This is the biggest catastrophe in Puerto Rican history. This is an unprecedented event in Puerto Rico and in the U.S. mainland.
President Trump gets a briefing on recovery efforts today. Last night he was tweeting about it, saying the island is in deep trouble.
He said food, water, and medical supplies are a top priority for FEMA. But he also noted Puerto Rico's economic struggles before the storm, including its debt issues, saying it owes billions to Wall Street, which, quote, sadly must be dealt with. The White House has defended itself against criticism that its response in Puerto Rico has not been on the same level as its response in Texas and Florida.
It's ABC's Karen Travers at the White House. The president also tweeting about the NFL. ABC's Alex Stone was there as the Dallas Cowboys took a knee as they took the field last night, then stood up and locked arms during the anthem.
Many of the fans we talked to here said they feel like the issue has become very political since the president got involved, that now it's less about claims of police brutality and more about whether you support President Trump, especially when it comes to his backing the president on the topic and who is now taking a knee.
ABC's Alex Stone in Arizona. Maine Senator Susan Collins says she is a no vote against the health care plan that's currently on the table, but South Carolina's Lindsey Graham says he still plans to bring his bill to the table.
We're going to press on, and it's okay to vote. It's okay to fall short if you do for an idea you believe in.
That was at a CNN town hall. In Alabama, it's primary day. President Trump is back Republican Luther Strange, who has been filling Jeff Sessions' seat since he was appointed Attorney General. His opponent is conservative Judge Roy Moore, who has the backing of Steve Bannon, Sarah Palin, but not the NRA.
Yesterday at his rally, Roy Moore pulled out a handgun to show that he was strong on the Second Amendment, and later today he'll ride a horse to the polls where he intends to vote for himself.
ABC's Tom Yamas in Mobile. You're listening to ABC News.
Let's talk about sleep. You need it to function every day, and a good night's sleep starts with the right pillow. That's where MyPillow comes in. You've heard everyone talking about it. If you're having trouble sleeping, tossing and turning, waking up with neck pain sounds familiar, right? Well, MyPillow may be the answer. MyPillow is made from patented material that will adjust to your individual needs regardless of your sleep position. It won't go flat, and it stays cool because, who doesn't want a cool pillow, right? And it comes with a 10-year warranty. Just go to MyPillow.com, click the Radio Listener Special tab, and use promo code SKY to get 2 premium king or queen pillows and 2 additional Go Anywhere travel pillows, all for 50% off and free shipping. That's MyPillow.com, promo code SKY, S-K-Y, or call 1-800-635-1825. 1-800-635-1825. Better sleep starts with MyPillow.
Hillary Clinton has reacted to reports of Trump administration officials using their private emails.
A White House official isn't disputing a New York Times report saying at least 6 Trump administration officials occasionally used private email to communicate about official business since the president took office. The report names White House senior advisor Jared Kushner, former chief strategist Stephen Bannon, chief economic advisor Gary Cohen, advisor Ivanka Trump, former chief of staff Reince Priebus, and senior advisor for policy Stephen Miller. Candidate Trump criticized his opponent Hillary Clinton for her private email server. Now she's hitting back, telling SiriusXM's Zerlina Maxwell,
"It's just the height of hypocrisy."
Dave Packer, ABC News.
A warning from the Department of Homeland Security to 21 states. Their voting systems were targeted by hackers during the 2016 election.
As attempts to penetrate state networks are an ongoing threat, we will continue to confront those ongoing threats on a daily basis.
That's Stephen Reed with the National Association of Secretaries of State. DHS says the hackers were unable to break into any of the systems. The notifications went out last Friday. A group in California wants coffee makers to post cancer warning labels on all their products and is suing in state court to get it done. The Council for Education and Research on Toxics points out to a California law requiring warning labels about hazardous chemicals in household goods and workplace environments. The chemical in question, acrylamide, is a carcinogen that coffee makers say is present at safe levels. This is ABC News.
It's an era of politics like we've never seen before. I'm ABC News Chief White House Correspondent Jonathan Karl. Join me on my podcast, Powerhouse Politics. We go beyond the headlines of the day with in-depth interviews, talking to the people shaping our political landscape. And of course, we leave room for the ABC reporters on the front lines. It's Powerhouse Politics with me, Jonathan Karl. Check it out on iTunes or abcnewspodcast.com.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Head on over to Jesse James Railroad Express, located 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton. Stop in for a pick-me-up breakfast with a bagel, muffin, specialty coffee, or the delicious taste of a Davis donut. Railroad Express is the home of the original ice cream stuffed donut. Lunch and dinner are served fresh daily. Enjoy the Big Express Burger, Bacon Express Burger, or the Carolina Express Burger. They also offer various sandwiches, including hot dogs and fresh salads. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 447-4644 for takeout. That's the Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton. Make a stop today. All aboard!
We've still got weak high pressure in control. Well, on the west side of Maria, we'll have a mix of clouds and some sun with that today, with a north to northeasterly breeze and continued warm temperatures. Highs will reach about 82 to 87. Tonight will turn mostly clear. There may be a few pockets of low cloudiness around. We'll have lows in the mid to upper 60s. Then on Wednesday, we'll have partly to mostly sunny skies. It'll be a little breezy and we'll turn a little hotter. Highs tomorrow 85 to 90. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Big changes in the weather coming if we can just get through the next few days. Now for Thursday, looking for highs around 87 degrees. Friday, highs, let me back up. Wednesday, highs around 88. Thursday, highs around 90. Friday, highs around 80. Saturday, 75. Sunday, 70. And then Monday, looking for highs around 70 to 73 degrees. Then we're going to see the overnight temperatures Thursday around 65, and then it starts dropping down into the mid-50s by Friday night. 7 minutes past 8 o'clock. 64 degrees right now, and sun starting to finally make its appearance. On Tuesdays, we always get an appearance from Andrew Tisdale with what's going on with the Edward Jones Report. But first, we teased this all night Wednesday night while we were at the county at the Ellenboro Fair, and we were talking about at the time. At one time, they used to have these prettiest babies contests. And we found out that you were once the prettiest baby at the Ellenboro Fair.
Not the prettiest.
Not the prettiest.
The purtiest.
The purtiest.
I
was. Baby.
I was.
What year was that? You have any idea? Or about how old you were?
I was, I'm going to say maybe 1980. I was a couple of years old. And I think it's actually when I started growing hair, so that made it really pretty.
Well, it's only natural because you were the grandson of the prettiest man in Ellenboro.
And a lot of people thought that might have been the reason why.
It might have been.
Yeah, I say it's genetics. Yes, some people say, well, he had something to do with it.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, that's why they quit saying purty and said purty.
Purty.
Yep.
What you got to tell us today?
Everybody wants to retire.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wants to retire. We all look forward to that, but retirement's not just going to happen overnight. It's going to happen with a little bit of planning. And today I just want to go over some quick plans so that you can say, okay, at this point in time in my life, what should I be doing? So here's your countdown to retirement. So one, countdown meaning set a date, set a time frame. It don't have to be the exact day, but go ahead and set a time frame so that you can go ahead and say, what do I need to do to get to this point by this date? And then as you're doing that, you're going to have different stages in life where you're going to have to make some changes in what you're doing. For example, think about it 10 years before retirement. Most of you are thinking about it in the back of your mind, dreaming about it, but it's really a big time to sit down and start really reviewing your plan. Why? Because at this stage you might be at, or at least near, your peak earning capacity. And at the same time, your kids may have grown, left the home, and you might have even paid off your mortgage. You take all these factors together, and you may can afford to max out your IRA or your 401k. And doing this is going to give you an extra shock booster to get to that retirement. 5 years before retirement, review your Social Security statement. See how much you can expect to receive each month at various ages. If I retire and I start drawing at 62, or should I wait till 67? That's a big factor in that. Why? Because if I can go ahead and start drawing out more than I have to and wait till 67 to draw Social Security, your Social Security will increase. However, if I start drawing at 62 and I wait till 67, how much am I forfeiting until I start drawing? Those are things to really take in consideration. 1 to 3 years before retirement, to help increase your income stream during retirement, you may want to convert some, but not likely, all of your growth investments into income investments. Keep in mind that even you'll need some growth inside your portfolio. These income investments are what's going to be your lifeline as it comes in. 1 year before retirement, evaluate your income, expenses, particularly healthcare costs. This is a big month coming up about healthcare. Depending on your age at retirement, you may be eligible for Medicare, but you will likely need to pay something like a supplemental coverage as well. Everybody should start planning for retirement. If you're working, start planning on the day you don't have to work. That's what we can do for you. That's what other people can do for you. As financial professionals, I really encourage you to sit down and say, help me devise this plan.
A lot of folks that are especially younger people, well, the closer I get to 60, I mean, it looks nicer every day. But when you're looking at I'll take a police officer who probably went to work in his early 20s, maybe 23, 33, 43, 53, he's got his 30 years in. He's ready to retire, but yet at 53, he steps out 2 days, he's going stir crazy. Now, how, if he retires from this position, how is it going to affect his Social Security or his money should he take another job? Because he just cannot stand being retired. It's just too early, too soon to sit down and not do anything.
That's a beautiful age to be able to have that option. If you can, especially any type of local type of employee at 52, 53, 55, they decide to retire, they're going to have a retirement income based on their services. And yes, you can go back to work. So what you can do is you can actually increase your income stream going back to work. You don't have to worry about Social Security at this point in time because you can't draw it yet, and it may actually even increase your Social Security in the long run. So I think it's a very wise thing. You know, it's different for individuals. Some people may say, you know, I don't have to. I want to go fishing and play golf, and they're just content. Some people say, I want to do something. So that at that age, at that time frame, for any local government service type of employer, that's a magical opportunity.
I have a friend who started going stir crazy, and he had to get back to work. So
good for him.
Yeah, but anyway, you got anything else great to tell us?
I'm just so happy I got to talk to you today.
Well, I was glad I was here today.
Yeah, me too.
We'll
See you later.
Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. Not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. Third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Geraldine Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility for nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338. They're located on East Core Street in Rutherfordton.
How does a year of free internet with Northland sound? Like staying up to date with social media.
That's right, family. I'm bringing this message to you. Free.
Or streaming all of your favorite movies.
Oh, John, I do love you.
Enter to win free internet from Northland by signing up for Northland's best offer of the year. Call 1-888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com to sign up today. Limited time offer. Must be at least 18 years or older to enter. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. See getnorthland.com/offers for details.
If you suffer from foot or ankle pain, you should know there's advanced care available to you right here in Rutherford County. Dr. Jason Glover of Rutherford Orthopedics is the only fellowship-trained foot and ankle surgeon in our region. Now, what does that mean for you? It means
a greater level of expertise that comes through advanced studies and research. You have options when it comes to foot and ankle care. So learn more. Visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/orthopedics. It's 15 minutes past 8 o'clock. Of course, the Word of Faith is back in the news again, and I'm going to get into that story after sports. This is a very, very long story. I'm going to kind of hit into some of the other stories going on around the area. North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein joined a roundtable discussion on Monday morning that included Sheriff Chris Francis. You heard the sheriff and I discussing this earlier this morning on the morning report. The United Way Executive Director Suzanne Porter, District Attorney Ted Bell, and other health and social service officials and local government leaders to discuss the opioid and heroin epidemic facing Rutherford County. Stein told the story of a 12-year-old boy named Ethan who took one of his parents' pain pills. At 15, he tried heroin. At 18, the young man was homeless. But at age 20, he had gone through drug rehabilitation and is now a social worker helping others escape addiction. Quote, to many accounts of people with addiction do not turn out well, that according to Stein. He went on to say, our job is to create more good success stories like Ethan. He said, I am convinced that working together in cooperation that we can solve this problem. He acknowledged that there are many thousands in North Carolina who are area addicted to opioids and heroin. He went on to say, quote, 1 out of 10 who needs treatment is not getting it. He said something is wrong with our system. Stein praised the county's new jail medication-assisted treatment and reentry program at the Rutherford County Detention Center. This program began in August medication-assisted treatment, behavioral therapy, and wraparound services for jail inmates who are addicted to opioids. Upon release from incarceration, those in the program receive intensive outpatient treatment, job skills, and education support services. This service was primarily funded through the RHI Legacy Foundation. John Carroll, director of the Rutherford County Department of Social Services, said we see people in the worst state of addiction. Amanda McGee, DSS assistant director, said there is abuse and neglect of children and parents don't even realize it at times. We see people on the road to termination of parental rights because of opioid addiction. School officials said because of drug abuse in the home, students come into school tired from having been up all night, and they're having to deal with adult issues because of parental neglect. Bell described the opioid problem as the tsunami on the horizon, but now it's here. Many of those at the roundtable said they would like to see a treatment center located in the county and more adequate funding for those suffering with opioid and heroin addiction. The spirit of cooperation, Sheriff Francis said, was key to bringing about the drug program to the detention center. He said it's all about relationships. We're blessed to be in a community that cares. The roundtable participants thanked Stein for visiting the county and asked him to advocate for more funding to combat addiction. Stein commended the county for being proactive and innovative. Well, funeral services are set for a woman who was shot at a Tennessee church. A masked gunman invaded a Tennessee church on Sunday, opened fire, walking silently down the aisle as he shot unsuspecting congregants. At least one person was killed, 7 others were wounded, according to authorities. An usher confronted the shooter, who apparently shot himself accidentally in the struggle, that according to authorities. No motive for the shooting was immediately determined. Investigators said they were not aware of any relationship between the gunman and any of the worshipers, that according to Don Aaron, spokesman for the Metro Nashville Police Department. The gunman pulled into the parking lot as services were ending at the Burnett Chapel Church of Christ in Antioch neighborhood. He fatally shot a woman who was walking to her vehicle, then entered the rear of the church, kept firing, shooting 6 more people. That according to police, it was unclear whether the self-inflicted wound was intentional. That according to Aaron, the gunman was identified as Emmanuel Sampson, 25, of Murfreesboro. Hours after the attack, he was under police guard at Vanderbilt University Hospital. Authorities were processing warrants to charge him. That according to the report. According to West Harpeth Funeral Home and Crematory, funeral services for that lady shot, 38-year-old Melanie Smith Crow of Tennessee, will be held Thursday at the funeral home in Nashville. Her visitation is scheduled for tomorrow. Police say she was killed Sunday in the parking lot at the Burnett Chapel of Christ. 6 others were wounded in the church. And of course, arrested was 25-year-old Emmanuel Sampson of Murfreesboro. Well, state authorities are suspecting a suspicious fire that broke out in downtown Gaffney early on Monday morning. Firefighters were called to an auction house at 509 North Limestone Street at around 1:42 a.m. That according to the Gaffney Fire Chief. Upon arrival, firefighters found heavy smoke coming out of a building that sits adjacent to an antique store. Firefighters entered the building and extinguished the flames. They checked for hot spots before turning the investigation over to the Cherokee County Fire Marshal's Office, the Gaffney Police Department, and the State Law Enforcement Division. The fire chief, Jamie Chiargno, said the fire appears to be suspicious based on where the flames were found. He said it appeared that the fire was intentionally set. He went on to say that the fire was near an office desk area. He said, "We're figuring out what started the fire. Currently, yeah, it looks like the reason is going to be suspicious." The business is used for state and antique auctions held about twice a week, that according to the fire chief. Chad Horton with Custom Auction Services said late on Monday that he had not been given any details about the fire or how it may have started. He said, "I haven't been told anything at this point. I have all kinds of reactions, but I don't have any comment because I don't know anything about it right now." No one was injured. The Blacksburg Fire Department assisted in the response. It's time for that sheriff's report recorded earlier for broadcast. For this time, with that report, here's Sheriff Chris Francis.
Lou, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 195 calls for service. There have been 18 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 189. Among those arrests, Christy Carmen Bradley, a 42-year-old white female in Mooresboro, was charged with 5 counts of failure to appear, received a $4,000 secured bond. Terry Anderson Bourne, a 52-year-old white female in Morganton, was charged with possessing Schedule 2 and received a $4,000 secured bond. Brett Lawrence Anderson, a 47-year-old white male in Morganton, was charged with possessing Schedule 2, driving while license revoked, and had a warrant out of Iredell County for hit and run, and received a $6,000 secured bond. Joyce Sutton Wood, a 52-year-old white female of Kings Mountain, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear, and received a $6,000 secured bond. Richard Sherman LaForge II, 46-year-old white male of Ruston, was charged with 1 count of failure to appear and received a $500 secured bond. Shay Harley Bennett, 24-year-old white male of Shelby, was charged with failure to appear and received a $500 secured bond. Alan Richard Farrell, 33-year-old white male of Shelby, was charged with possession of meth and marijuana, received a $45,000 secured bond, and also was surrendered, receiving a previous bond for previous charges. Had a Zachary Robinette, 26-year-old white male of Forest City, which was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear, received a $25,000 secured bond. Ricky Jean Henson, 60-year-old white male of Forest City, was charged with domestic violence protective order with a violent weapon, and we will see a district court judge for bond today. Chad Timothy Piercy, 37-year-old white male of Forest City, was charged with probation violation, received a $5,000 secured bond. In the instance, we had a break-and-enter in Larsdale on Hawkins Loop Road. There was some assorted wrenches taken, also a 2004 Honda Rancher four-wheeler valued at $2,500. Porter Cable Mushroom Air Compressor valued at $280 was also taken in that incident. We had obtained property with false pretense on Hog Pen Branch Road. debit card without proper authorization. We had a break-in, enter, and larceny, Bedford Creek Road in Ellenboro, where U.S. currency was taken. We had a break-in, enter, and larceny of a vehicle on old US 221A, a 2000 gold four-door Toyota Corolla with a tag of PEB 8303, valued at $1,000, a MIG welder without a motor valued at $600, and a Cub weed trimmer was taken in that instant as well. Also, a set of 4 tires valued at $100. In a separate instance, we had a larceny of a motor vehicle off Booger Hollow Road in Ellenboro. It's a 1993 blue Dodge truck with gold trim valued at $6,500. No tag was displayed on that vehicle. We had a break-in, enter, and larceny on Walls Church Road in Ellenboro, where 3 steel chainsaws valued at $675 were taken. A gas generator valued at $795 was taken. 2 steel weed eaters valued at $400 were taken. And 8 rods and reels were taken, as well as a $300 wood splitter in that instant. We had also a larceny of a motor vehicle on US 64 in Robeson. It was a silver 2006 Hyundai Sonata with a Florida tag. Same was located in Forest City after a brief chase with a Forest City police officer, and the Rutherford County K-9 located suspect in that case on a back porch. Same still under investigation whether it was unauthorized use or larceny of a motor vehicle. Then we had a misdemeanor larceny on Hunter Carver Lane in Forest City. A North Carolina tag was taken, same as EKW 7141 or Edward King Williams 7141, valued at $28. And that's what we had to report today.
And get back to the playoffs. Howard also hopes so. During Media Day on Monday, he put on a show for sports writers, staging a fictional future post-game press conference.
We had a good game. Kimba did a good job. Coaches, he's always been great. And Cody, a big rebound over Steph. All right, go ahead. That was the championship I was just envisioning. Yeah.
Howard said the Hornets have the talent not only to get back to the postseason, but to win it all. The Carolina Hurricanes open the regular season October 7th versus the Minnesota Wild. For season tickets, skate to CarolinaHurricanes.com. This is NCN Sports.
At Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, we know sometimes you want both. Juicy Bird. Pork barbecue. Right. And with our fresh combo platters, Juicy Bird. Pork barbecue. Okay, already. Relax. With our combo platters, you get both. Juicy Bird. Pork barbecue. Now look, if I give you both an ice cold sweet tea, will you be quiet for a minute? Sweet tea. Sweet tea. Combo platters with Juicy Bird fried chicken paired with pulled pork barbecue.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Washington lawmakers are promising big changes to the nation's healthcare system. Their decisions will impact the way you and everyone in your family get health insurance and medical care. As a healthcare safety net for communities across our state, North Carolina's hospitals and health systems want you to understand how changes will affect you. Visit HealthierTomorrowNC.com to find out more. That's HealthierTomorrowNC.com.
The Steelers' Alejandro Villanueva blames himself for the image of him standing apart from teammates during Sunday's national anthem. He said he unintentionally separated himself in the moments that led up to the Star-Spangled Banner.
I would say that my personal thoughts about the situation is that regardless of this plan, very few players knew that I was going to the tunnel because I only asked the team leadership. And so because of that, I didn't give them an opportunity to stand with me. That is the very embarrassing part on my end and what transpires, because when everybody sees an image of me standing by myself, everybody thinks the team and the Steelers are not behind me, and that's absolutely wrong.
The Steelers decided to stay in the Soldier Field tunnel during the anthem before Sunday's loss against the Chicago Bears in response to comments made by Donald Trump about the anthem protests by NFL players. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
When it comes to foot and ankle care, not all physicians are the same. While many can treat very simple conditions, only a very few can offer specialized care. For example, when choosing a foot and ankle physician, you'll want to ask if the physician has had more than the minimum level of training when diagnosing and treating your condition. Only very few physicians can say they've done extra research and studies on the complex challenges that foot and ankle care can present. Right here in Rutherford County, there's only one physician who can say he is a fellowship-trained foot and ankle surgeon. Dr. Jason Glover of Rutherford Orthopedics has completed additional training in Ohio and Illinois in order to offer a greater level of expertise in foot and ankle care than any other physician in this region. If you're suffering from foot and ankle pain from an injury or just getting older, call Dr. Jason Glover at 828-287-9260 for more information.
This is the
I think the biggest thing for us is to just keep focusing on what we've done all year long. It's hard for me to see the logic in suspending a crew chief for some tape flapping on the spoiler.
Right now, these good runs and consistent runs are what we need. When he bobbled, I tapped him and spun him out.
He wanted to poke it in its eye, and I was like, whoa, hold on a second.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-605-1682. 800-605-1682. 800-605-1682. That's 800-605-1682.
Just as Martin Truex Jr. had done the week before in winning the second Monster Energy Cup Series playoff race, Kyle Busch reaffirmed he was a championship favorite.
I think the biggest thing for us is to just keep focusing on what we've done all year long. Just keep trying to go out there, run hard, run smooth, and be good at what we do. Obviously, fast race cars helps us being able to stay out front.
One thing Kyle didn't do was blow out his tires and destroy parts of his car, doing a burnout as Truex did at Chicago. NASCAR decided to step in after they were called out by Dale Earnhardt Jr., who was still upset about his teammate Chase Elliott's playoff Race 1 penalty.
It's hard for me to see the logic in suspending a crew chief for some tape flapping on the spoiler when the winner drives into victory lane with the rear of the car tore all to hell. Doesn't make any sense to me. I've been kind of waiting all this time for NASCAR to eventually say, look, we'd just rather you guys not blow the tires out.
Now, for the second straight time in Loudon and for the 8th time on the season, Kyle Larson was the runner-up, but didn't seem very frustrated by the near misses.
I mean, if I finished second at Homestead to the champion, that would kill me, but right now, these good runs and consistent runs are what we need. If I finish top 5 every weekend, through Phoenix, we'll make it to the Final Four.
Kevin Harvick is still in good shape to make the second round of the playoff, but he was knocked out early after getting together with his former RCR teammate, Austin Dillon.
3 just turned us.
I think you can look at the replay. He kept coming left, and I was in the gas, and he bobbled, and when he bobbled, I tapped him and spun him out.
Actually tied with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Dillon is being scored below the cutoff line to make round 2 on points. He's 1 ahead of Ryan Newman, while Kurt Busch needs to make up 17 points at Dover. Casey Kane, 24.
Wix has the perfect filter for how
Martin Truex Jr.
drives if
Martin
drives like a
man on a mission, whipping around that final turn at Martinsville.
Wix says no problem. Whether you have a normal drive or an extreme drive or anything in between, we have the filter that'll protect your vehicle. Now, when it comes to your
deer hunting, is that an 8-point? Shh. Oh, that's just the microphone.
You'll have to deal with that yourself. Wix Filters. Go to wixfilters.com to find the distributor near you.
When Kyle Busch last won at New Hampshire, his son Brexton was a clueless 2-month-old when he saw the Victory Lane lobster. And now that he's 2, he knew just what to do.
He gave it a little poke, and he wanted to poke it in its eye, and I was like, whoa, hold on a second. Back it down, and, pet him on the back, so we gave him the shell. He touched it, so I think he thought that was cool.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass, sponsored by Wix Filters.
When you're looking for a new bike, don't settle for second best, and that's precisely why you want a Honda. And the best place to get your off-road bike, your street bike, four-wheelers, dirt bike, or your new all-terrain vehicles, they got it all. It's E&H Honda in Alexander Mills. The Honda quality and style has been the big seller over these many years. The name E&H Honda has been the place to go for over 25 years because people expect the best from them. For personal hometown service and experience, stop by 122 Blanton Circle, Alexander Mills, Forest City. That's E&H Honda.
We've still got weak high pressure in control well on the west side of Maria. We'll have a mix of clouds and some sun with that today with a north to northeasterly breeze and continued warm temperatures. Highs will reach about 82 to 87. Tonight will turn mostly clear. There may be a few pockets of low cloudiness around. We'll have lows in the mid to upper 60s. Then on Wednesday, we'll have partly to mostly sunny skies. It'll be a little breezy and we'll turn a little hotter. Highs tomorrow 85 to 90. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And taking a look at that extended forecast for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Looking for temperatures around 90 degrees, of course, today. 85 for Wednesday. And then 87 for Thursday. Around 80 for Friday. 75 for Saturday. 70 for Sunday. And around 70 degrees for Monday. So it looks like fall temperatures finally moving in. Right now we're at 66 degrees and sunny skies at AM 59. Well, when Randy Fields Construction Company faced potential ruin because of the cratering economy, he pleaded with the pastor at the Word of Faith Fellowship Church to reduce the amount of money he was required to tithe each week. To his shock, Fields said church founder Jane Whaley proposed a divine plan that would allow him to continue tithing at least 10% of his income to the secretive evangelical church while helping his company survive. He would file fraudulent unemployment claims on behalf of his employees. She called it, he said, God's plan. Fields and 10 other former congregants told the Associated Press that they and dozens of employees who were church members filed bogus claims at Word of Faith Fellowship leaders' direction and said that they had been interviewed at length about the false claims by investigators with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The unemployment allegations were uncovered as part of the AP's ongoing investigation into the Word of Faith, which has about 750 congregants in rural North Carolina, a total of nearly 2,000 members in its branches in Brazil and Ghana, and its affiliations in Sweden, Scotland, and other countries. Some of the ex-members said they turned critical documents related to the unemployment claims over to the authorities, even though they knew they would be charged with defrauding the government. The former members estimated the fraudulent claims, some filed by the business owners, wives, and other family members, would have drawn payments totaling in the hundreds of thousands of dollars over a 6-year period. Questions referred to the Attorney General. The Department of Homeland Security referred questions to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Charlotte, which cited an ongoing investigation into allegations against the Word of Faith Fellowship and would not elaborate. The State Board of Investigation said the agency would not comment due to the overall investigation involving the church. Whaley and the church attorney Josh Farmer did not respond to numerous requests for comment. In February, the AP cited more than 3 dozen former Word of Faith Fellowship members who said congregants were regularly punched and choked in an effort to beat out devils. The AP also revealed how, over the course of 2 decades, followers were ordered by church leaders to lie to authorities investigating reports of abuse. Last month, the AP outlined how the Word of Faith created a pipeline of young laborers from its 2 Brazilian congregations who say they were brought to the U.S. and forced to work at businesses owned by church leaders for little or no pay. The AP stories have triggered investigations in both the United States and in Brazil. Over the years, church leaders have owned and operated more than 2 dozen businesses. The interviews with former followers, along with documents reviewed by the AP, indicate at least 6 companies owned by leaders were involved with filing fraudulent unemployment claims between 2008 and 2013. Most of these businesses' employees were congregants, the AP found. The AP reviewed the individual checking account records that showed unemployment benefits deposited by the state, along with income tax records summarizing how much money some of the former followers interviewed received annually in such payments. Fields, who spent 24 years in the church before leaving in 2015, said his employees kept working without pay while collecting unemployment benefits. Basically, quote, basically, their unemployment checks would become their paychecks, he said. It is illegal for employers or employees to knowingly file fraudulent unemployment claims. Since December the 1st, 2012, violators in North Carolina can face felony fraud charges if the illegal benefits totaled more than $400. Before December the 1st, 2012, filing false claims was only a misdemeanor. If investigators believe employers or employees were involved in a conspiracy, however, they could be charged with serious state and felony charges. Fields says he knew the plan was illegal, but he went along with it because of intense pressure from Whaley, who founded the church with her husband in 1979. He said, quote, I'm not proud of what I did, but I had to make this right, he said. The price of the refusal, Fields said, could be beatings administered by fellow church members, public shaming by Whaley. The church also might mandate that he be cut off from any contact from his family, he said. He said, quote, you knew it was wrong, but you knew you couldn't say a word, said Rick Cooper, who acknowledged falsely filing for unemployment from April 2011 to April 2012. In North Carolina, companies pay a quarterly unemployment tax based on the number of their workers, with the money going into a fund used to pay out claims, according to Larry Parker, spokesman for the Division of Employment Security, which oversees the program. When a worker files for unemployment, the agency checks with the employer to learn the reason. If an employer says a worker was let go because of the poor economy, payments usually are approved quickly, Parker said. During the recession, which started in 2007 and was driven by the housing meltdown, laid-off workers could receive state and federal extensions, increasing unemployment to 99 weeks with a maximum weekly check of $535. But in 2013, North Carolina legislators tied benefits to the state's unemployment rate. Currently, laid-off workers can receive up to 26 weeks of unemployment with a maximum payment of $350 a week, Parker said, and he emphasized a worker must have been laid off to collect unemployment. He said, quote, if a company is trying to make workers work while they collect unemployment, that's a potential fraud situation, Parker said. The former congregants said that not only were they coerced into continuing to work while collecting unemployment, the money fell short of what they needed for their bills. They said, quote, the unemployment checks never equaled what you were making, that according to Cooper, who worked for Diverse Corporate Tech Incorporated, a manufacturing company owned by church leader Kent Covington. He said, I was making about $700 a week, but I only collected $235 a week in unemployment, Cooper said. So I'm working the same hours, many times much longer hours for less. It was devastating for my family. Church members were expected to keep tithing regardless of their financial situations, and Whaley kept close tabs on who was giving what, Cooper said. Some of those interviewed by the AP said they learned about the practice at meetings with company officials, but that Whaley herself also promoted it. Jane was heavily involved. She was always asking questions about it, that according to Rachel Bryant, who calculated that she received unemployment benefits of about $200 a week for 18 months while still working for a Word of Faith minister. She went on to say, I remember after I was on unemployment for just a few months, and Jane said, you're still on unemployment, right? And I said, yes. And she said, thank you, Jesus, Bryant said. Workers receiving unemployment benefits must check in every week and demonstrate that they are actively seeking work by providing the names of businesses where they filed job applications, and the former Word of Faith members told the AP that church leaders had a plan for that. Every week would go to the unemployment office, put down that we looked for work at other companies operated by Word of Faith fellowship leaders, Rick Cooper said. He went on to say those companies would vouch for the Word of Faith members at the unemployment offices. it was a conspiracy. What's amazing to me is that this went on for years and no red flags ever went off. Cooper said Whaley told him Covington's business needed the money because the, quote, devil had been attacking the company's finances, unquote, and the minister might lose his house. Rick Cooper's son Jeffrey, an attorney and accountant who also has broken with the church, worked for Covington's company too. Jeffrey Cooper said he was so uneasy about the practice that he called the Division of Employment Security to ask what he labeled a, quote, hypothetical question. I said, can an employee file for unemployment benefits while they're still working for a company, unquote, he told the AP. He said the state official replied that he hoped it was only a hypothetical question because the practice was illegal and anyone involved with it could face serious charges. Cooper said he relayed the information to Covington, who exploded. Quote, he started screaming at me at the top of his lungs that I was wicked, Cooper said. As a result, Cooper said he was publicly rebuked by Whaley and completely segregated from his wife for 6 months. Other church members interviewed by the AP corroborated his story. Rick and Jeffrey Cooper said that they and nearly 3 dozen employees at Diverse Corporate Tech and Covington's other company, Integrity Marble and Granite, filed false unemployment claims over the course of several years. Covington did not return several messages from the AP. Benjamin Cooper, Jeffrey's brother, told the AP that Whaley touted the success of the unemployment tactic from the pulpit in 2009. Quote, there was a church service and Jane got up and started saying that Kent had heard from God a means to save God's company's money, unquote, Benjamin Cooper said. He went on to say, quote, she needed to have a meeting after the church with all the business owners. I knew what she was referring to. That's why I remember it. We were already on unemployment at that point, unquote. Rachel Bryant said she was pressured into filing false unemployment claims in 2008 after her boss, a medical professional who was a leader in the church, was audited by Medicare and was told he owed money because of coding errors. Bryant said one of her boss's sons told her the company would not be able to pay her for a while, but that Whaley refused to let her look for another job. Eventually, she said Whaley said they had a plan to keep both the doctor and his employees. Quote, she said, Rachel, God found a way where you can make some money. Kent's done it with some of his businesses, so we're going to put you on unemployment, unquote, Bryant said. Some of her boss's family members also filed for unemployment while continuing the work at the business, she said. I'll pick up with that, and I'll be right back right after this.
Hi, this is Brittany with the gift shop at Smith's Drugs in Forest City. We have a new shipment of the Kavoo bags, wallets, hats, and t-shirts. Also, after school, when your homework is finished, be sure to check out our new retro toys and science-based toys. Come on in and check out our large selection of clearance items, including a variety of clothes to fit your personality. So come on in and see us at the gift shop at Smith's.
How does a year of free internet with Northland sound? Like staying up to date with social media.
That's right, family. I'm bringing this message to you. Free.
Or streaming all of your favorite movies.
Oh, John, I do love you.
Enter to win free internet from Northland by signing up for Northland's best offer of the year. Call 1-888-NORTHLAND or visit getnorthland.com to sign up today. Limited time offer. Must be at least 18 years or older to enter. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. See getnorthland.com/offers for details.
Coming up on 12 minutes before 9 o'clock, let me back up to one paragraph, and all of this is coming from the Daily Courier, of course. Quote, she said, Rachel, God found a way where you can make some money. Kent's done it with some of his businesses, so we're going to put you on unemployment, unquote, Bryant said. Some of her boss's family members also filed for unemployment while continuing to work at the businesses, she said. Quote, I remember that I went to Jane after being on it for like 3 or 4 months, and I remember asking her if I could apply for a job opening in another doctor's office. Well, she started screaming at me, saying, "You're wicked. There's nothing but the money devil in you," said Bryant, who had been making about $500 a week before being reduced to only unemployment benefit checks. Bryant said she was too scared to leave. Looking back, Fields, whose oldest daughter and grandchild remain in the church, says he struggles with his decision to knuckle under pressure and participate in the plan, and he regrets it. He says, quote, "The businesses helped support the church," he said. "We would make large donations. Without the businesses, they would have been in trouble," unquote. He paused for a moment to collect his thoughts and then, quote, "At the time, it just seemed like the right thing to do, but it was wrong," he said. "We were all wrong." All that from the Daily Courier this morning. And I read it word for word from the Daily Courier. Well, in other news, a Forest City man who is charged with failing to work after being paid is incarcerated in the Rutherford County Detention Facility under a $50,000 bond. Brandon Ronald Green, 37, of Leonard Lane, Ellenboro, is also charged with failure to appear on a misdemeanor. A 43-year-old man was arrested Saturday and faces numerous charges of breaking and entering in an alleged crime spree that occurred in March 2016 in Forest City. Kevin Lee Blackwell, who gave a Winston-Salem address, also formerly of Spartanburg, South Carolina, was arrested by Rutherford County Sheriff's officers. Blackwell is an alleged co-conspirator in a crime spree involving numerous breaking and entering incidents off Crowderry Road, Farmside Drive, and Jersey Drive, all in the Oakland Road area near Forest City, approximately 18 months ago. Blackwell was charged with 2 felony counts of breaking and entering, 4 counts of breaking and or entering a motor vehicle, 1 count of larceny of a motor vehicle, 1 count of larceny after breaking and entering, conspired to commit a felony larceny, and 4 counts of misdemeanor larceny. He's being held in the Rutherford County Detention Facility under a $46,000 bond. In April, Tammy Nicole Fowler, 39, of Lake Bowen Church Road in Inman, South Carolina, was charged in the incident. Melissa Catherine Copage, 27, of Moore, South Carolina, was arrested and charged in August 2016 with the larceny of a motor vehicle, conspiracy to commit felony larceny, breaking and entering, 2 counts of larceny after breaking and entering, 3 counts of breaking or entering a motor vehicle, and 4 counts of misdemeanor larceny. Well, there is a large story here from Polk County, the Polk County Sheriff's Office, about arrest, and so I'm going to have to hang on to this story until tomorrow because I'm not going to have enough time to get that one in. So I'll have that story for tomorrow. Also, Habitat for Humanity, more than 200 homeowners, volunteers, and staff with the Rutherford County Habitat for Humanity celebrated the 30th anniversary of the chapter on Saturday afternoon at McNair Field in Forest City. Children's games and activities, a catered barbecue dinner, prizes were part of the celebration held at McNair Field in Forest City. Homeowners representing the early days of Habitat and today's new homeowners were among those attending. Chris Fox was a teenager when his when his mother and siblings received the 4th Habitat for Humanity home built in Rutherford County. It was built in Rutherfordton, where Chris lived with his family until he went off to college. Fox, the pastor of Bethany Baptist Church in Forest City, a husband and father, led a prayer Saturday evening. He thanked the Lord for the Habitat for Humanity and its 30 years of leadership and all the organizations, volunteers, and homemakers. Moe's Barbecue catered the supper as family, friends, and volunteers gathered for the evening meal. So thank you, big thank you goes out for Habitat for Humanity for their celebrating their 30th anniversary. I want to do read one of the stories in here. Libby Garcia, who received her home in 2011, said that Habitat is great and the program is awesome. She was accompanied by her mother, Rose Jones, who celebrated her 80th birthday on Saturday. Mrs. Jones talked about her late husband, Jerry Jones, who was a longtime Habitat volunteer. He died in a motor vehicle accident a few years ago. She went on to say that he helped build our house. He died in an automobile wreck in 2013. She said, we were pleased with the number of people that came out for our celebration. We had nearly 200 people to attend. We couldn't have asked for it to be better. The food was good, the kids loved the games, and everybody had a good time. That according to Habitat's Executive Director, Kim Freeman. Coming up on 5 minutes before the hour, North Carolina News is next, ABC News, and then the best music you'll ever hear right here on WCAB.
MCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. North Carolina's Outer Banks are bracing for the effects of Hurricane Maria, even though the storm is expected to pass the state at least 150 miles offshore. This tourist says people need to listen to the authorities and prepare.
The warnings. If they tell you to evacuate, definitely evacuate. But also in the meantime,